Hello, everyone. I hope everyone has gotten the announcement that you need to sign up for the midterm next week. If you haven't done so yet, do so as soon as you possibly can. You got to get a spot. The the schedule so far that I sent out earlier today is already filling up. So send me at least 3 times, maybe more would be helpful at this point. That you can make next week for your midterm exam. I'll wait another couple days, and then it'll be too late. You have to email me immediately with your times. We have to get this schedule set. So do so as soon as you can, and then I can send out the finished schedule. So the midterm is an important part of your grade for this course, and it is a real exam. This is not an informal discussion. This is not a general just chat. This is me asking you questions about what we've read for the course. It is a reading knowledge exam. So you should look at what we've read, and I'm assuming that you've read it. If you haven't read it and don't read it before it, you will not pass the exam. It's a reading knowledge exam, so if you know anything about the text, you can't pass. It's just like a regular in class written exam, except I'm asking you questions in person and you're answering them. So, like any midterm exam, it presumes that you are very well acquainted with the subject matter of the course. So that's what you should feel that you are. And I mean, it's about everything. We've had 8 readings, or 9, excuse me. We've had 9 readings so far up to the Jeff Smith reading from today. And I will feel free to ask questions about anything that we've read for the course. So, how should you prepare for this exam so that you feel ready? First of all, there is no substitute for reading and rereading and studying. It's the main thing. And I also want to say that it should be clear that there are 3 main readings. Reading 1, the Homer Saracen Fundamentals of Industrial Management. Reading 4, Milton Friedman's The Social Responsibility of Business is to Increase Its Profits. And reading 6, Cars is Business Bluffing Ethical. Pretty much everything else that we've read is we're reading because it's related to those 3 fundamental readings. Readings 2 and 3 are readings that are inspired by Saracen. Reading 5 is a commentary on people evaluating reading 4, Friedman. Readings 7, 8, especially 7 and 8, are commenting on reading 6, the car. Reading 9 is very important, and maybe it stands on its own. But there's 3 fundamental readings, and then there's the sort of satellite readings. So you need to read them all, but you especially need to read those 3 fundamental readings and feel really confident in your grasp of them. So, as I said, reading and rereading and studying, that's what college is about, and that's what studying for any exam is about. But you will also see that there's a new module on the Canvas site, and that's reading review videos. Some of these are videos that I've already put up in the individual modules, week modules. Some of them are new, and I will be putting up new ones. But as you can see, the Friedman, the Carr, and the Saracen, there's videos in all 3 of them, and they are the fundamental readings. I will put up probably additional readings in the next few days, so check back on that before your exam if you want to look at additional videos. So I would say that to prepare for the exam, you need to read, you need to study. And I would say look at these videos that I prepared. I do my best to try to clarify points and try to emphasize points that I think are important. And that in itself, in terms of studying for an exam, is a reason to watch the videos. Because you can find out what I think is important about the readings. When it comes to the kind of questions I'm going to ask about things that I think are important. So there's an obvious advantage in watching the videos. I will ask probably 3 or 4 questions One of the things that I'll say in an oral exam, advice I'll give you in the beginning, is to be as expansive as you can in your answers. That is, I will ask a brief question and then I'll just listen. So your answers should be thorough, and don't worry about whether they're too long or you're saying too much. And don't worry about time limits. We are strictly limited to 15 minutes because of the number of exams that I need to conduct next week. But that shouldn't make you feel that you have to shorten, to abbreviate, or uh, in any way skimp on your answer. I do have probably about four questions that I'll ask. It is not that important that we get to all of them. I'm asking these questions to get a sense of your general grasp of the text. So I may get that more from, you know, if I think from, one or two questions from all four of them, depending on how you answer them. If I think that your answer is going off in ways that aren't helpful anymore, I'll tell you, and I'll ask you. We'll move on to the next question. But I would just be as expansive as you want, as thorough as you can in your answers to questions. Again, these questions will be about what I think the most important elements of the text are. Um, you should feel about each text that you could explain it. You could give an account of it. It doesn't have to be every single detail, but that you could give a pretty good account of what this author was getting at, what the main points were, what the essential ideas were in the text. So if you feel that kind of confidence with each text, you are fully prepared. I have been doing oral one-on-one exams for my online classes for a year and a half now. And that's mostly due to the influence of ChatGPT on student work. That is, I simply need to talk to you to get a sense of how much you've learned and what you actually know about the material. There are too many students now who are basically cheating their way through college. I'm not accusing anybody, but it's a broad and difficult problem with American students, probably all over the world. College students, probably high school students, it's worse. Just using ChatGPT to write their essays for them, to write exam answers and things like that. That is all cheating. If you've been using it for discussion posts or for weekly essay, that's plagiarism. And if I detect plagiarism, I will fail you for the course. There's no other option for me. It's academic dishonesty. So I know the students do it. I'm not saying at Widener or in this class, but I have experience of lots of students using ChatGPT to cheat their way through a course, and I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. I simply need to talk to you. I feel to get a real, genuine, authentic sense of what you know. So that's why we're doing it. If you have any questions, and there's no reason to be apprehensive about this, I've done hundreds of online exams and they go really well. Students do great, who know what they're talking about. And I'm not going to pressure you, as it's a fairly relaxed atmosphere, I hope. So you shouldn't feel any trepidation that way. I'm just really asking you to talk about the texts, but in a sense that I get a sense of what your reading knowledge is. So you have to know the text. So they have gone well. In the very few cases in which they haven't gone well, I think it's because students didn't read and didn't understand that it was a real exam. They thought it was an informal chat when it was a reading knowledge thing. So keep that in mind. And I look forward to meeting with you all next week.